If there's one thing that exposes beginner riders faster than anything, it's traffic. Not high speed, not cornering, not U turns. Traffic. Because traffic is where your brain, your clutch hand, your throttle hand, your vision, your confidence, and your patience all get tested at the exact same time. And trust me, one tiny bad habit can snowball into something dangerous in seconds. What's up, riders? Matthew here from Autozium, and today we're breaking down the top 5 habits beginner riders make in traffic. If you've ever felt stressed, boxed in, overwhelmed, or like the bike is controlling you instead of the other way around, you're not alone. I've been there. Every rider you look up to has been there, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to fix so you can ride smoother, safer, and way more confidently in traffic. Let's get straight into it. Habit 1. Riding too close to the vehicle in front of you. If there's one habit that exposes a beginner faster than anything else in traffic, it's this one. Riding way too close to the car ahead. I see it every single week. New riders glued to a bumper like they're still driving a hatchback. And I get it. In a car, sitting close makes sense. You feel protected. You're boxed in. You've got airbags, metal crumple zones, the whole safety sandwich around you. But on a motorcycle, you are the crumple zone. You are the bumper. You are the one who loses the moment anything unpredictable happens. And here's the part most beginners never think about. You cannot outbrake a car in an emergency. That shocks people, but it's true. Cars have 4 huge tires, massive brake rotors, ABS systems tuned for high traction, and tons of weight to push into the ground. Your motorcycle? 2 tiny contact patches the size of credit cards. So when that distracted driver in front of you suddenly realizes they almost missed their turn and slams the brakes, you're done. You don't have the space. You don't have the reaction time. You don't have the physics on your side. Your brain needs space to process information. Your hands need time to react. Your bike needs distance to slow down without locking up or swerving into danger. When you're riding too close, you're removing all 3 of those safety layers in one shot. Here's how you fix it. Double your following distance, then double it again. Seriously, whatever distance feels safe to you right now, it's not. Add more. You want space to breathe, to react, to anticipate. You want to see the pavement ahead, not just the bumper in front of you. And with more space, something incredible happens. You spot hazards earlier. You stop reacting out of panic. You get smoother with your clutch and throttle. You actually ride faster because you're not constantly braking. A proper gap isn't about being slow. It's about being smart. Traffic is unpredictable. People cut in, slam brakes, drift, hesitate, and change lanes with the patience of a squirrel. You need margin, not because you're inexperienced, but because you're responsible. And here's the best part. Your stress melts away. When you're glued to a bumper, your brain is in constant emergency mode, watching brake lights like a hawk. With space, you relax. Your shoulders drop. Your throttle hand steadies. Riding becomes smooth instead of jumpy, controlled instead of reactive. Following distance isn't a suggestion. It's survival. It's confidence. It's the difference between barely made it and saw it coming 3 seconds before it even happened. Give yourself the gift of space. Your future self will thank you. Habit 2. Riding in blind spots. Longer than you should. Blind spots are one of the biggest silent killers for riders. Not because you can't see the car, but because the car can't see you. Beginners slip into blind spots and stay there because the bike feels stable, or because they're afraid to accelerate, or because they don't want to slow down and create a gap. But sitting in a blind spot is like taping a "hit me" sign to your helmet. You're invisible, and invisible riders get hurt. Every week, someone in a riding group posts the same story. I was riding normally, and this car just merged into me. And every time, the root cause is the same. They were sitting in the one place the driver never checks, the blind spot. Here's the thing. Cars move like they own the whole road. They drift. They merge without looking. They switch lanes impulsively. If you're lounging in their blind spot, you're giving them the opportunity to ruin your day without even realizing it. And it happens fast. One slight lane drift, one half-checked mirror, one lazy shoulder glance, that's all it takes. So here's the golden rule you need burned into your brain: blind spots are lava. Touch it, and you get burned. Your job in traffic is simple: move through blind spots quickly and decisively. If you're next to a car and you can't see the driver's eyes in their mirror, assume they can't see you at all. You have two options, and they both work beautifully. Accelerate just enough to pass cleanly and get in front where you're visible. Ease off slightly to fall behind and create a safe, clear buffer zone. That's it. Those two moves will prevent 90% of close calls instantly. And here's the bonus: staying visible helps you ride more confidently. When a driver can clearly see you in their mirror, they're far less likely to drift into your lane. They're more predictable. Your mental stress drops dramatically because now you're controlling the space around you instead of reacting to it. Blind spots aren't a skill problem, they're a habit problem. You just need to break the mindset of cruising next to cars. You're not a car. You're a small, fast, maneuverable machine. You're supposed to flow, not hover. Treat blind spots like danger zones, and you'll ride like someone who understands traffic on a whole different level. Habit 3: panicking in slow speed stop and go. If high speed riding reveals your bravery, slow speed traffic reveals your control. And beginners hate that because stop and go traffic shines a giant spotlight on every tiny bad habit: stiff arms, choppy throttle, sloppy clutch work, poor balance. Suddenly, the motorcycle feels heavy and unstable. The clutch starts grabbing, the bike lurches forward, the rider's head snaps, their shoulders tense, and the whole thing looks and feels like a battle. But here's the truth: slow speed riding isn't hard, it's technical. It exposes your fundamentals, that's all. And when those fundamentals are shaky, traffic feels like a nightmare. Slow speed panic always comes from the same root issue. You're trying to control the bike with speed instead of technique, and that never works. The fix is simple, and once you understand it, traffic becomes 100 times easier. 1. Keep a little steady throttle. Don't chop it. Don't blip it. Don't tap it. Just keep a low, steady, controlled amount of throttle. This stabilizes the engine, stops the lurching, and gives you predictable power. 2. Ride the friction zone. This is the magic tool of slow speed riding. The friction zone isn't slipping the clutch out of fear, it's modulating power like a pro. Smooth clutch, smooth bike. 3. Cover the rear brake, not to stop, to stabilize. A light drag on the rear brake keeps the bike steady, lowers the center of gravity, and gives you razor sharp balance. Every advanced rider uses this trick. 4. Relax your shoulders and elbows. The second your upper body stiffens, the bike wobbles. The more you loosen up, the more the bike stabilizes itself. You don't fight slow traffic, you glide through it. 5. Keep your head up. Looking down instantly steals your balance. Pick your eyes up and look where you want to go. Once you master these 5 things, slow speed traffic stops being stressful. It becomes predictable, controlled, and even, dare I say, smooth. You go from panicking to cruising. You stop feeling exposed. Your confidence skyrockets. And best of all, your bike suddenly feels 50 pounds lighter. Traffic doesn't have to intimidate you. With proper control, it becomes just another part of the ride, one you handle effortlessly. Habit 4: stopping directly behind cars. This is one of those habits beginners don't even realize is dangerous until it almost bites them. Stopping directly behind a car, like bumper touching close, feels normal because that's what you do in a car. But on a motorcycle, this one habit removes every single escape route you have. And in traffic, losing your escape route is basically signing a contract that says, if anything goes wrong, I accept the consequences. Let's break down why this habit is so risky. First, if the car behind you isn't paying attention, you're done. Rear end collisions in traffic are extremely common, especially today with distracted drivers glued to their phones. If someone taps you at 5 miles per hour while you're on a bike, you're not dealing with a dent. You're dealing with broken bones, a crushed leg, or being pinned under the car in front of you. Second, the car you're stopped behind might roll back. It happens constantly with drivers on hills, people driving manuals, or simply distracted drivers who lift off the brake accidentally. If you're inches from their bumper, you're the cushion. Third, stopping directly behind a car blocks your view. You can't see traffic flow. You can't see brake lights ahead. You can't see pedestrians stepping out. You're riding blind, reacting late, and relying entirely on the one driver in front of you, hoping they do the right thing. So, what's the fix? Always stop with an escape route. Always. Here's how pros do it. Hash 1. Stop slightly to the left or right of the car ahead. Never centered. Your bike should always be angled toward open space, not directly at a bumper. If someone slams into you from behind, you can shoot forward and out, not into a wall of metal. 2. Leave a full bike length of space. Not a foot, not a couple inches. A full bike length. This space gives you options. Room to swerve, room to escape, room to react, room to avoid being pinned. 3. Keep your bike in gear, not neutral. If something happens, you want immediate drive, not a second of fumbling. 4. Watch your mirrors like a hawk, especially when you're the first one stopped. You're not trying to be paranoid. You're trying to be prepared. Because here's the truth every experienced rider learns. Red lights aren't dangerous. The cars stopped at red lights are. Once you start using proper lane positioning at stops, the difference is huge. You feel safer. You feel more aware. You feel in control of your space instead of trapped in a metal sandwich. Stopping directly behind cars is one of those car habits riders bring with them without thinking. But once you replace it with smarter positioning, you go from vulnerable to prepared, instantly. Habit 5. Letting cars control your decisions. This may be one of the most underrated beginner habits in all of motorcycling, and one of the most dangerous. New riders let the behavior of cars dictate how they ride. They speed up because a car is tailgating. They switch lanes because someone drifts. They go faster than they're comfortable because traffic is moving quickly. They hesitate because the driver next to them is acting weird. Without realizing it, the beginner loses control of the ride because they're reacting to pressure instead of riding their own plan. But here's the truth that will change your riding overnight. You control your bubble, not the cars around you. Cars don't get to decide your comfort zone, your pace, your lane, or your timing. Letting outside pressure shape your decisions is how beginners get into trouble. Let's look at how this shows up. 1. Tailgaters make beginners speed up. They feel guilty for being slow and try to outrun the car behind them. This creates panic, tunnel vision, and sloppy inputs. You should never go faster than your confidence allows. Your safety, a stranger's impatience. 2. Cars drifting into your lane push beginners to swerve. Instead of waiting, repositioning, or accelerating away, beginners jerk the bike or switch lanes without planning. That's how single vehicle crashes happen. 3. Fast traffic pressures beginners to keep up. Everyone else is going 70, so the new rider thinks, I guess I should too. But confidence can't be forced. Speed without comfort equals disaster. 4. Hesitating because of unpredictable drivers. Instead of having a plan, I'm moving here, then here. The beginner waits, freezes, or gets stuck in the danger zone. Now let's talk about the fix, and it's simpler than you think. 1. Ride your speed, not theirs. If someone tailgates, move to the right part of the lane. Let them pass when you choose, not by speeding up. 2. Control your lane position. Shift slightly left, slightly right. Whatever makes you visible and predictable. Cars move when they know you're there. 3. Make decisions based on your comfort, not their behavior. Your responsibility is to be predictable, smooth, and controlled, not to keep other drivers happy. Hash 4. Remember this rule. You are not a car. You do not owe traffic car behavior. Once you stop letting cars control your ride, everything changes. You feel confident, not intimidated. You make decisions, not reactions. You ride on your timeline, not somebody else's. This is how beginners become real riders, by reclaiming their bubble and owning the ride. Traffic exposes you, but it also teaches you. And once you fix these 5 habits, everything about riding in traffic becomes calmer, smoother, and so much more enjoyable. You stop reacting like a beginner and start responding like a rider who knows exactly what they're doing. If this helped you, hit that like button, Subscribe to Autozium for more riding tips every single week and tell me in the comments, which one of these traffic habits are you guilty of? I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe, ride smart, and ride your own ride.